man, because I'm going to tell you this, and now I've been a victim of this. Even when you do right by motherfuckers sometimes. See, everything ain't about money. We live in the era where people gain clout for just saying the strangest shit, right? It could be a bold-faced lie. But if a motherfucker feel like they can come up off of you in any kind of way, they gonna have a million stories about you. Oh, this motherfucker, I don't care how much money you don't gave a motherfucker or how much you don't try to be 100 with them. Some people just are scumbags, bro. Some people just ain't shit.
I'm gonna tell you, man, one of the super high profile dudes, I was around him and I didn't really know him. He knew who I was and all this, but he was talking so reckless to me about what he had been doing with some of these girls over the years. Mm-hmm. I was not surprised at all when all the allegations came, because I'm like, you know who I am and everything, but you don't know me, and you're just telling me this stuff like it's nothing. And I was there as a journalist. I wasn't there to like.
Yeah, you could have lit his ass up.
Yeah, I was like, when it started coming out, I was like, well,
some motherfuckers deserve what they get.
It's not surprising.
Some motherfuckers, I've seen both sides. I've seen dudes who did their thing but was gentlemen about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've seen dudes that did their thing and talk shit.
Because then I was like, is this dude, is he trying to impress me? Is he lying? Is he like telling me the truth I got this many girls?
Dudes who was in their normal life wasn't shit. When they was civilians, when they was just regular motherfuckers.
Yeah, a lot of niggas like to impress.
Yeah. So I was trying to figure out why was he.
Impression is a lot in this day and age amongst your peers. You feel me?
Yeah, like even Diddy's bodyguard now, he came out and said that he's not covering up shit no more.
Everybody now everybody's gonna do the money.
Floodgates have opened.
Everybody's gonna do the money grab now. So everybody who feels like they have a little story that they might know, now here comes the exploits of, well, if you don't want me say nothing about that time,
right,
nigga, slide me, because he talking about $100,000 and how, but you can give a stranger $3 million. So it's something about money. It's something about something didn't happen for me.
Now, in Puff's defense, because I always like to be as neutral as I possibly can, don't none of us know what the fuck happened, right? Puff could have gave this motherfucker all the money in the world, but for some reason, dog, no matter what you may spend, people don't give a fuck. They think if you got money, somehow they supposed to get some of it.
Right. I mean, because you wasn't working for free as security. Mm. And I'm pretty sure being a security for Puff, you was making a pretty substantial
Well, he probably had making a couple $100,000 a year at least.
Okay, right. So, but like you said, it comes down to like, why you just didn't like
you could have quit,
motherfucker. Right,
you could have done anything.
Because that wasn't the problem.
Right,
the problem wasn't that. The problem was at one point in time, I probably felt like, why don't you just throw me something? You get me?
Yeah.
Not as far as, the workload or the paycheck or nothing like that, but as just a nigga that you've been knowing for a while, and nigga, you sitting on like $100 million, and I've seen you I've seen you give away $2-3 million to strangers and shit. So why you couldn't just, look out for a nigga? And that turns into, I knew a nigga was always, whoop-de-whoop. So let's see what happened now, because I got stories too. So basically, you trying to exploit me. You trying to exploit me now. Because of the situation I had with this female and whatever, now here comes, like you said, the floodgates are going to open for anybody who feel like,
you owe me.
Nigga, you owe me. You owe me. Nigga, I saw you doing, this and that and whatever. So pay me before I spill the beans.
And that's why, man, when you stay ready, you ain't got to be ready. I was always conscious, man. First of all, I've been married for so long, dog. I've always been conscious. that wouldn't shit get back to my wife that was embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? I really always thought about that, like, man, you know what, that wouldn't be cool. Not saying I'm not a man and I don't have thoughts and shit, but I always thought about my wife.
Yeah.
I always thought
as you
about,
should.
you know, I always thought about the shit that can happen because I tend to treat people how I want to be treated. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just never wanted to be a nigga caught up in no crazy shit.
That's what I'm saying, dog. I ain't never want to get caught up in those
that
scams.
too.
Not saying that I'm a motherfucking altar boy, and I've had my share of crazy situations, gang banging, what have you, and females, what have you, but I've never tried to put myself in a predicament to where, oh, that's gonna be embarrassing like a motherfucker,
Right.
or that's gonna fuck a motherfucker up if that shit come out. You get me?
You could lose everything.
I've never wanted to put myself in those situations, so you know, I've always thought about shit.
Right.
You know, should I do that? Should I do that? Should I, you know, should I do some street shit? You know, this ain't doing. Should I hook up with nigga and, you know, nah, man.
We all got our shit though, and you think about, like, we are all very fortunate. Everybody sitting up in here, man, everybody in this room right now is very fortunate to be able to do what they want to do for a living, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Because I've worked regular jobs before. I don't got no problem saying
Oh,
that. I don't
definitely.
work regular jobs before. So it's like,
Well, I had me a couple of regular jobs before.
you know, for a motherfucker to
Yeah.
get to do what he doing now, dog, and actually make a living, you know, talking about
blessing,
stuff
man.
that he loves is a blessing. So we always have to play the bigger role. Like, I'm going to tell you about a situation, right? I had a situation where I get a lot of people that hit me up for help, right? And I had this one motherfucker. Somehow he found out we was recording up at the mansion, right? This is when we was recording up in Beverly Hills, right? So he comes up there with us for a meeting, right? And the motherfucker, we sitting at a table talking. Now keep in mind, this is the place where I do business at. And there's always cameras going in that motherfucker. Like, always. His dumb ass didn't know that though. But it's always something being taped. So we go to this one room, have a meeting, and just to give you some context, Fomby and Junior is right outside. And 2 or 3 of my other homeboys, right? You know, they right outside, right? So it wasn't nothing. It wasn't really, it was just a meeting about his, you know, him wanting help, because for some reason every motherfucker think if they do a podcast, they gonna make $1 million, right? Everybody, they read this shit that's be lies half the time and overinflated. Man, I heard there's millions of dollars in that shit, right? So I meet with this cat, right? And this cat is in there talking about, man, you know, I got to get put on or whatever like that. And so I'm laughing at him. Like literally laughing at him, like, because, you know, he get that DMX tough guy voice, like, I'm this and that. And he like, is something funny? And I'm like, yeah, it's hilarious right now. It's fucking hilarious right now. I really want to whoop this motherfucker's ass. I really just want to, because, you know, when I get mad, I get to smiling, right? I really want to fuck this dude up, man. Like, really want to beat his ass. So we get finished with the meeting, right? Whatever like that, right? Whatever. And his tone kind of changed a little bit. The dude that was with me was like, man, just help him out a little bit, whatever like that. So I showed the motherfucker a little thing or two, right? This turns out later that he don't chase me around the room with a mic stand and all type of shit, man. Like, just crazy shit, because he got a little podcast now, right? So now I'm feeling like the dumbest motherfucker in the world because I don't help this bum-ass, decrepit, old-ass fucking bum do some shit, right? But it was a lesson for me. And from that moment on, I started really recognizing the position I was in and stopped really allowing motherfuckers to have access to me.
Right.
We can't fuck with everybody, dog, just because of shit like this. And if Puffy is innocent, you got to say half this shit is fault, because you can't go around doing what the fuck you want to do and not expect no consequences, right? It's like with this guy, I should have never took a fucking meeting with him. So in a way, it's kind of my fault, and I had to accept that, right? Every time I hear this bum-ass motherfucker go online and tell a lie about me, right? That I know is not true, and anybody that know me know it ain't true, right? And then the lies just get greater and greater. Now is that he don't took a Rolls Royce or something from me, and he don't took $5,000 from me for taking somebody's publishing. I ain't never owned nobody's publishing. But long story short is, we gotta be careful with who we surround ourselves with, or you could find yourself easily caught up in a fucking trick bag.
That's for sure.
Gangsta Chronicles, we gon' tell you how it goes.
If I lie, my nose will grow like Pinocchio. We gon' tell you the truth and nothing but the truth.